Let y'all know what's going on. What's the deal? YouTube Universe, King Eric, the media assassin out. Right now, I got the K Davis, the Hitman, and Smooth Beat interview up. Y'all can check that out. And I did this video for a reason because they fluxing with the numbers, B. Like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, damn, how the hell I only got like 4 views on this so far. So I'm gonna tell y'all what's going on. A lot of these companies, they want a piece of the action. You know how, like, y'all getting all this money in the park. I want in. Frank White, King of New York. So what's going on is they're fluxing people numbers until they get the piece of the action. Because, you know, the minute you hit a certain amount of subscribers and the minute you hit a certain following, especially when you're doing it organically, they're going to want a piece of that. That goes for Facebook. That goes for Instagram. That goes for whoever you're trying to build a base off of. They trying to get a piece of the action. And if you don't give them a piece of the action, man, you got to pay. All of a sudden, you see all these different rules come into play. All of a sudden, your numbers start slowing up. All of a sudden, you start seeing less comments and less engagement. It's a total ploy. It's a total scam system that they run it on creators. Because what happened, we black folks, we found ways to manipulate the algorithm to make money. They don't want none of that happening no more. So here come the bull rules. Here come these silly rules. Like, I'm gonna give y'all a good example with my page. I don't like when YouTube deletes comments that they feel is inappropriate. I want to read everything. I want the smoke for everything. Like, if you call me a bitch ass nigga, I want to see it. If you telling me you want to fade, I want to see it. If you disagree with my comment, if you cussing, I want to see it. Because that helps my page. The engagement helps my page. So when they do that, you cutting off my legs. Like, now you're not seeing any engagement. They'll delete the comments off my page. Or anybody else's page for that matter. Always feel inappropriate. Let me decide that. You know what I mean? Let me decide if that's inappropriate or not. If I want to leave it up there, let that be my prerogative. Just like how YouTube used to be. I don't need you policing my page. Let me police my own page. That's what pissed me off. So then they took the dislike button off. I'm going to tell you why. And I might get in a little bit of trouble on this one. The reason being is because of the MDs. The MDs is the reason why. Notice anything related to the MDs and Brandon, I ain't going to say his name, anything that relates to him and that administration and what they're doing, dislike ratios be crazy. You know what I'm saying? You go to CNN, you go to MSNBC, any topic dealing with that, they getting crazy dislikes. Nobody's feeling what they're bringing to the table. So now they're trying to control they're trying to control the narrative. His ratings done plunged. His approval rates done plunged. So now they're trying to clean everything up. Now you notice even with Yahoo, they deleted the comment section there. Like, people can't chime in and really tell the truth or tell their truth about what they're doing with this administration. This is criminal to me. You should be able to express yourself. And if you feel I'm wrong, debate. Let's have the dialogue. It's like my man Code 187 said. If you have a disagreement, feel free to debate about this. Feel free to have a discussion. Don't just delete me or just cancel me. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. That's what's missing with today's society. Is that there's no form of negotiating, there's no debating, and there's no agreement. And another thing too, and I want to say this here while I'm talking about YouTube. Now, this is the first time I'm addressing this, and I want them to see this. The Real TV, you a bitch ass nigga. How you gonna sit there and flag my channel on? You gonna send me a copyright strike on some content you don't even own, nigga? I said that. Especially when it's do JoJo Capone and Suge Knight. You don't even own that content. So why you gonna flag me on something you don't even own? And I had JoJo Capone on the show. I mean, the least you could do is call me. I mean, not call me, but email me back. I left a comment on your page. See, it's what these niggas do, man. I don't even need to steal anything. Everything that we've created on Off the Cuff Radio, everything we create on Screwball Radio, we've been doing. Through our intelligence, through our hard work, through our brains, through our grind. We ain't had to steal nothing from nobody. And if any content that we borrow, we just go ahead and we shout that person out. We give them a hashtag, we give them a look. I ain't got to steal nothing. So that's a sucker move that dude pulled. That bust ass channel. And it's like we're easy to approach if there's an issue. Instead of just flagging my channel, like, sending me a copyright strike on some content you didn't even create. I could see if it was even JoJo Capone's page. I'd understand that. That's a sucker move to me. But that's what we dealing with. Then you dealing with your own crabs. You're dealing with your own people that want to hate. You're dealing with your own people that want to hate on you and cut your legs. Which is crazy to me. But that goes to show you right there, within this culture, there is no honor amongst thieves. Everybody's for themselves. I came in doing this thinking, okay, I could bridge the gap. I could bring everybody together as content creators. We could form like Voltron, and we could take on what we need to take on, which is the competitors in the corporation. None of these people really want to bond like that. It's all ego at the end of the day. It's all ego. So, and going back to the topic at hand, that's what it messed up with the dislike. The dislike portion messes up our viewership. I want to see what's disliked and disliked, so I know sometimes it's good to have. Sometimes it's not good to have, just like everything else in this world. Like sometimes I can have a real positive video and some nigga just want to hit the dislike button on some crab shit. Sometimes that's not even the case. You know what I'm saying? But the way I see it, they want to control all information. They want to manipulate all information. Because you look at the comments, I've been paying attention to all this since the beginning. All the content's dealing with branding. All the comments dealing with MDs. Dislike ratios just been crazy. It's just been crazy ridiculous. And it ain't even from your standard MAGA fans. See what they trying to do? They trying to group everybody into this MAGA portion. I ain't vote for none of them niggas. You know what I'm saying? So don't group me into this MAGA group clique. You know? If anything, the people called the L because they should have went and just sat this out. Let the chips fall how they want to fall. We'll deal with it. But everybody got all scared. They put Brandon in. And now, look at your results. Look at your results. And anybody that's sitting there going to tell me you happier now than you was last year is a liar. Real talk. So that's what's going on. Now you got the censorship going on, man. It's like a whole bunch of censorship. They doing it on the sly. One thing I learned about American politics is when they say we're doing it for your safety, it is not for your safety. It is not for your safety at all. And everybody's channels has been hurting because of it. Like, don't control what is said on my page. Let me decide that. If I want to delete a troll, if I want to tell a troll, if I want to tell a nigga eat a dick, let me do it. Don't censor me. Let me handle it how I want to handle it. Then on top of that, this is the hypocrisy behind the thing. They want to sit there and talk about, well, we're breaking community guidelines. We want, we want to look out for the children. But yet, you let Lil Nas X get his back busted open in showers. You ain't censoring that. You let niggas naked. You leave niggas in the background naked. Come on, man. He got naked niggas in the background dancing, but yet you want to censor us. Help me make that make sense. This is what we've been dealing with, the hypocrisy behind these guideline rules, man. We've been dealing with a lot of that because it don't even add up. It don't even add up at all. And YouTube got to solve that problem, man. And people keep saying, this is one thing that kills me when people say, create another YouTube. Create your own website. Easier said than done, bruh. They probably had about 30 heads to make YouTube what it is. The black community, you can't even get people to stream your album for $1. Let alone get 30 people to come together and build an app. It says it's successful as YouTube. Easier said than done. There's no unity amongst thieves. Yeah, people gotta understand that it ain't we all the world like you think it is. Better yet, anybody that say that, ask your people. Ask your people to come together and see what kind of answers you're gonna get. I bet you it's not gonna be the ones you want. People talk a good game, but they're not following up. Real talk. But yeah, another thing too, man. I did a video earlier, but I didn't go through for some weird reason. I was talking about Virgil Abloh. I think that's his name. This dude made a big impact in hip hop. I mean, I didn't really pay attention to him, but seeing how a lot of people were giving him his respects, I was like, yo, this guy had to be major. I heard of his name, but I didn't even know his impact. And when Kanye West put him on the squad, I see the impact right there, because he did almost all of Kanye's recent covers. To Watch the Throne, 808s and Heartbreaks, My Dark Twisted Fantasy. He did covers for Big Sean, did covers for 2 Chainz, West Side Gun. Dude put in a lot of work, man. So it's a sad way for him to go out. You know what I think this is, y'all? I think this is a straight up death plague, man. It's a straight up death plague going on out in this country, man. Not in the country, but the world. It just seemed like since 2020, you know what I'm saying? The Mayans turned it back, and now we living in a world where women want to be men, men want to be women. You start seeing bizarre shit happening that you didn't fathom happening. Like, for example, did you ever think that you would see Kobe Bryant die in a helicopter crash? Did you think that you was gonna see DMX leave the game like he did? Did you think that we will be dealing with a pandemic at this day and age? I mean, did you think that we was gonna be dealing with all of this calamity in the 2020s? I did not fathom for the 2020s to be like this at all. I've lost so many people since the 2020 started. It started 2019, but it's just been like the death plague. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like a death plague out there. It's just been a wild time. So it just woke me up to believe that you can't take life for granted, man. You can't take life for granted. But Virgil was a very impactful dude for what I've seen. He done a lot for the new era of hip hop, and he deserves his flowers as well. And see, that's what we try to do even with Off the Cuff Radio. I gotta plug myself a little bit. We even give respect to the fashion designers and the DJs and people that contribute to the culture that don't really get that look. You know what I mean? So that's my job. And you see the shirt right here, Off the Cuff Radio. Made this last year. I'm gonna have these coming real soon. But speaking of that, though, you know, going back to that, well, I mentioned about DMX. Did any of y'all catch that documentary? It was sad to watch, man. Not sad to watch as in him, how he was behaving, but sad to watch as in him not being here. Like, what the documentary covered was the last 2 years of his life where he just came out of prison and he was trying to get back on tour. Now I paid attention to some things that made my the light bulb in my head analyze things. The beginning where he signed, I think he re-signed the Def Jam, I believe, and him and Steve Rifkin was in their office. X wasn't really paying attention to a lot of what they were saying. He was distracted. I could tell that he was still kicking the habit, the way he was motioning, the head motion. He was busy playing with his kid. They were talking numbers over his head. He wasn't really paying attention. I was like, this is not good. And I don't think Steve was trying to exploit X, but the guys beyond that, it kind of looked like, man, they were trying to exploit the dog. What was also powerful about that documentary was you see X in the streets mingling with the people. I seen one of them young bros when he hugged DMX, he cried. He broke down crying in the streets. That show you the love that man had. Like when Pac left, X came in and took his spot for a while. That's what the game was missing at that time. The people's champion factor. Because a lot of them dudes at the time when they were blowing up, they ain't want to go back in the trenches. X did. They got their bag, they ain't even come back. Only time they'll come back to the hood is that they want to shoot a video and when they record sales are lower. But X was always out there in the trenches. You can't help but to respect that man. Then you start seeing the pressures and the stress behind the scenes. See, people think they look at these Instagram posts, they look at all these videos, they look at all this stuff, and they be thinking automatically, man, these guys are living it up. There's a lot going on. These guys got bitches. These guys got cars, money, homes. It's nowhere like that. It's an illusion. It's more than you think to it, and you see a little bit of that in this documentary. Even one of the chicks DMX was messing with, one of his baby mamas said that she was flying out on his publishing checks. That's how ridiculous it is. X had at least about 15, 16 kids. He had at least about 16 kids. Like, damn. And the sad part about that was he left a lot of debt, man, just off that tax invasion charge that he caught. And he had to work. He had to keep on working. And eventually worked him to the grave. That's the harsh realities of a lot of these artists. It's not smoke and mirrors like you think. And I can't imagine since the pandemic happened, those bags got smaller. A lot of these artists didn't really catch on to how the business changed after that. Because being involved with the music business myself, I seen the changes first and foremost. Those bags got smaller. Them budgets got smaller. When niggas ain't traveling, when dudes ain't doing those shows, it's a totally different beast, man. So you got to rely on streams. There's no record sales like that. You getting like what, 2 cents to a whole dollar? Whereas at least with CDs, you was getting 15 cents or 10 cents. Now the portion is even lower. It's crazy to me. And I'm going to tell you this what's crazy. I'm going to say this before I go. NBA YoungBoy getting his music snatched off YouTube. Now, didn't I tell y'all that was going to happen? Now, see, in the older days, if an NBA YoungBoy fan wanted to see him or buy his product, they just go to the record store. They cut that out. So now you got to go to these streaming sites, and they cut his legs. Now where is a fan of NBA YoungBoy gonna go? Where is he gonna go to get his merchandise? Where is he gonna go to purchase his music? He can't. They done erased him. YouTube done erased it, that is. Now see, you putting the power. That's why I was telling people, man, own your physicals. Now you gave all your power to these corporations, man. Now they can dictate what you listen to and what you not listen to. That's why I'm against that censorship, man. Like, even though regardless of what you feel about R. Kelly, they still took his music down. But it's like, why y'all feel like a moral fiber? I'm taking his music down, but yet the label still own it. If you want to separate the man from the music, why you still own his music? Give him his music back. That's what gets me. It's not about that. It's about control. It's not about morale. It's bullshit. It's about control. And now, with convenience come laziness. Now you done submitted all your control to these corporations, and now they can dictate your music now. It's crazy to me. And they use convenience to subconsciously. Why are you into believing that it's convenient for you? Because they know the average human mind is lazy. Why you think now you don't have to go to the grocery store? You just have somebody bring you the food. They socially condition your mind to where you don't want to have to put in work. It used to be a lot of work collecting these albums, man. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it because that's their ownership. You don't have no corporation telling you what to listen to. Or you putting out an album and they take all 3 to 4 songs because it might offend white people. Shit like that. That's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with these corporations, man. Like, you got to have the control back. The consumer don't control nothing no more. These these corporations control everything. That's why no more DVDs, all these streaming sites. And you thinking, the human mind thinking, oh, I got one over, I'm cutting my cable. No, you not. Hulu, Netflix, HBO Max, Pluto TV. There's about 10 different streaming sites. You still paying for cable, nigga. They getting over on you either way. They getting on you either way. But it's crazy to me, man. It's just this whole thing going on is crazy. So I had to get on here and, vent a little bit. Because the censorship is nuts, man. Like, that was the main topic of what I wanted to talk about with the censorship and them taking away the dislikes. Because I'm like I said earlier, let me be the decider on what's on my page. You know what I'm saying? If that nigga want to tell me, fuck you, let me decide me to keep it up there. If I want to go toe to toe and put my foot on his neck, so be it. If not, let me know. Let me handle it. I don't need you telling me how to handle my page. Let me decide what's offensive to me. See, that's the power we giving up, man. We gotta do better than that, man. America talk a bunch of shit, but yet we don't fight. They talk all that hot dog shit, but when it comes to throw down, you just submit your rights. You just submit everything. You comply. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Like, what? All that warrior spirit, all that American war hawk talk. When it comes to really getting your rights back or fighting, I don't see none of that. Y'all comply just like that, but you talk a gang of noise online. Just like I said a couple years ago with internet neutrality. I'm like, damn. They literally took y'all internet away the way they controlling that? Nobody putting up a fight? But you dummies going over Capitol Hill? Y'all storming on Capitol Hill. But yet the real fight, y'all go to Capitol Hill, but it's for the wrong intentions. It ain't, at the end of the day, Trump's still rich. You know what I'm saying? FIDC, what's poppin', dog? What's good, man? I wanted to go live with y'all for a little bit. I'm talking about censorship. I'm talking about YouTube erasing these dislikes. I'm talking about NBA YoungBoy getting his YouTube channel snatched. I'm just shooting the bridge. I'm also paying homage to Virgil Abloh. I didn't know his impact was that big like that, but I wanted to pay homage to that. And I also want to let y'all know that the K Davis and Smooth B from Nice and Smooth interview is now up. And you can tell YouTube messing with my numbers on that as well, because I only got 4 views and they've been on there for 30 minutes. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. And see, this is why I tell people, don't even try to get rich off YouTube, man. That's impossible. Yes, YouTube has been great for us to get our stuff more out there, but you can't depend on it. You can't depend on any of these platforms, because the minute they can just take your platform down just like that, bro. They can take it down just like that, and you can't do nothing about it. Remember that day, I think it was last month, where Instagram got shut down, Facebook got shut down. Niggas was panicking. I ain't talking about the Instagram thoughts or none of them. I'm talking about people that make money off these platforms. So they could take it all away just like that. Just like that, they could take it all away. And now people got mortgages. They got leasing cars on it. And yet they take it away like that. And they can't even explain why. That's why it's dangerous to depend on this digital bubble, man. It's dangerous to depend on it, because any day now it could shut down. It could shut down any day now. So that's that, man. So I'm about to go ahead and be out. Be sure to subscribe, man. Subscribe to Off the Cuff Radio. Subscribe to Screwball Radio. Check out the interview I just did with K Davis and Smooth. Also got more heat coming. So holler at me, man.